Hi, this video is from interview.com. Interview.com is a job portal. In this video, I'm going to talk about Spring Data support, mainly JPA repository. Using the method name, I can create the query. The Spring is going to create query from the method name. That's what I'm going to explain you in this video. I'll show you the repository that I've created. See, in Spring Data, you can create a repository, a simple repository like this, which is going to extend from the JPA repository. Why we have to use repository? Because one of the main advantage of using Spring Data is to avoid boilerplate code. Earlier to Spring Framework, we used to write a lot of code, boilerplate code like this, getting the connection, executing the query, getting the result, iterating the result. So a lot of things we usually do to get some data from the database. So this is the example for boilerplate code. In order to avoid this, Spring Data came with different ideas. One of the ideas is using JPA repository. So in my business class, in my business application, I can have a simple repository class which is going to extend from the JPA repository, which is from the Spring Framework, and I have to give my entity class and the identifier. Okay, and in my service class, I can auto-wire it. This will be injected by the Spring Framework, and you can ask me where is the implementation for this interface. That will be generated by the Spring Framework, and it is giving by default all these methods. Can you see all these methods? Code for all these methods will be generated by the Spring Framework. I don't have to worry. The basic methods will be generated by the Spring Framework: delete, find, and save. So for all these methods, Spring will generate the code. And in this video, I'm going to talk about creation of query from a method name. See, apart from the default methods that is generated by the Spring Framework, you can have your own method like find by name, find by hotel address. So if you see here, hotel is my entity class. I just want to explain you. So name is the entity attribute, and hotel address is the attribute, again an attribute. Here I can give find by name and find by hotel address. Camel case I have written find by hotel address. So what Spring is going to do is it's going to remove this find by, and it's going to use this name, and it's going to use this hotel address, and it's going to create a query from the method name. I want to repeat, a SQL query will be created using this method name. So I don't have to write the code for these two methods. The code for these two methods will be written by the Spring Framework. I can directly start using it where I'm using it in the service IMPL layer. If you see here, I'm going to use this, and these two methods will be generated by the Spring Framework. Let me run this program. I'm going to create I'm going to show you the table is empty now. This is the hotel table. I don't have any value. I'm going to create it, and I'm going to retrieve using find by name and find by address, the service layer methods. Okay, so let me run this program in debug mode, and I'll explain you. I've started the application. So the main goal is to avoid boilerplate code, and one more advantage or benefit is Spring is generating a lot of code for us. Okay, if you see here, I've called these two methods. So we have retrieved the values. If you see here, find by address, we have retrieved the value, and this method, if you see, it is inside here. So using this repository and these two methods, I'm able to retrieve the hotel details from the database table. I didn't write any IMPL code for these two methods. These two methods definitions were generated by the Spring Framework itself. So that's the advantage. Hope this video is useful and informative. Thank you and all the best.